All right, welcome to Flagship Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Bays, and I'm here with Esta Branch from Promise Coffee Roasters. Good to have you with us.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thank you.
So Esta is one of our 7 finalists for our pitch event coming up on February 19th. So we're really excited about that.
Ooh, yeah, we are.
So Esta, tell us, what was it like for you applying and going through that process?
Well, it was a little stressful because I'm a procrastinator. So I pushed it to the last minute. But it was not, the actual application process itself was very simple, very straightforward, and just gave me a chance to really put it out there what we want to do. And it was cool to really formulate the ideas from my brain and other conversations into writing a little bit more. So it was actually a really fun process to get that narrowed into writing.
And then you came in and were one of the 12 that went before the selection committee, or 14, I think it was. So what was that like?
That was a little more nerve-wracking. I get a little anxious sometimes getting in front of people, but once I got up there with you guys, it was so easy to talk to you. And again, it was really cool to see the formulation of the ideas come out and share it with other people. And the dream really taking flight in that sense that I'm sharing it with other people. And so it's a reality. And the process itself, again, you made it easy, you made it simple, made it fun to talk to. It was just conversation, and I enjoyed the opportunity to do that.
So then you were right on the edge and initially did not make the 7 and were our alternate.
Yes.
And I remember having that conversation with you in December saying, there's a chance we might have to call you back if somebody has to drop out.
Yeah.
But may not happen. And that's kind of bad news. And, well, I don't know. You can't really get your hopes up and that kind of thing. What was it like when I called you and said, hey, guess what? We need the alternate.
Well, the first call when I didn't make it originally, it was a blow, but I was already gearing up. My husband chatted me up with it. He talked me up with it too. Already gearing up for the next year and how we can prepare a little bit more for that. So then my mindset had already shifted. And then I get the call that we're going to be in it this year. So I had to shift back to, oh no, we're going to hit the ground running and get this going. It wasn't too, it was overwhelming in a good way. Yeah. Just knowing that that was something that we were looking forward to and I was excited about. And so to have it back on the table was fun. And it was after the holidays, so I didn't have to think about it through the holidays at all. So it was really a blessing in disguise. Like I said, I'm a procrastinator, so I probably would have been starting around the same time anyway. So, no, it was just exciting. It's like that second chance, and that's always, you feel like maybe an underdog, but I always root for the underdog. So,
So have you had your first meeting with Wade coaching? Yeah. How's that gone?
Oh, it was good. Again, very easy conversation, very helpful tips, and very interesting guy to talk to, and we had a lot of good coffee conversations.
Yeah, he loves coffee.
We had to narrow back in, like, oh, okay, let's get back to the focus here. But it's fun. I always love talking about it. So
awesome. Okay, so Esta, tell us a little bit about when you started the business and kind of how the growth has gone for you.
Yeah, I started it in, oh my goodness, what year was that? That's a really good question. It's been 7 years as of this past fall.
Okay.
So what's that put it at? 2018. And that was, I started roasting coffee out of a nook in my bedroom with a 1-pound sample roaster. And I launched a business and I got to where I was roasting 11 roasts in a row. And so then I grew to the garage and made a roastery out of the garage. And after a few years of that, outgrew that, and now we renovated the grain bin into the roastery and have a new roaster in there, had a new roaster in there. That was during COVID, actually. So we built it through COVID. That was a very interesting time to build something new. But now we're looking to expand that roastery that we're in currently with the equipment inside. So.
Now, if I remember right, isn't that like your grandpa's farm or something, right?
Yeah, it's on my grandparents' farmland, and it's been in the family for many, many years. And I was just kind of walking, and God kind of shed a light on this. Let's use this space. This is here, and let's make it work. And it's been a really cool process to see come together.
That's awesome. So I cannot wait to come see it. I really want to see it. It's so cool. A grain roaster, cool. To be like that. And so, for everybody in business, I own a business too, and I've started a few organizations over my lifetime, and it's not easy. And the statistics are not real great as far as success for business. A lot of people try, and 90% of business fail first year. And then 5 years later, 90% of those fail. So it's not for the faint of heart. It's challenging. So what are some of the challenges or biggest hurdles that you've had to overcome in the 7 years?
Well, it is not for the faint of heart. You're right. It takes a lot of mental fortitude. A lot of times I feel like there are moments where it is hard, just hard work overall, but then there's hard relationships that come into it, and there's moments where trust is broken and you don't expect that, and those are big blows. Where maybe you have your hopes up, you're dreaming one way, and all of a sudden it shifts. All those things are very hard to navigate, and the biggest thing is not quitting. It's more seeing past what maybe looks like a failure or a change in direction as something that can grow in a new way or a different way, or maybe that's just a closed door where the Lord's like, no, that's not the way for this business right now. That's not the path, or for you personally. And those are probably the hardest things. If you want to talk actual business, keeping up an inventory as growing at the same time when you want to grow. If I have a large growth, managing, being able to supply that inventory ahead of where the income's actually coming in. And I think whether that be the actual product itself or even the machinery and things to use for that. So the growth, navigating growth alongside how to have the stuff to grow. I don't have an eloquent way to say that.
It makes me think about, as I know you're a strong Christian and I pastored for a long time, and faith often is mainly talked about like within religious church circles. But as a business owner, I feel like faith is such a huge piece of being successful in business, because you have to take a step ahead of what something's going to happen. You have to have projections, and you can't be stupid with it, because you get yourself in a situation where you can't afford it. But you also have to have a faith element.
I've been stupid at times.
and you learn those lessons.
Yeah.
Some of them can almost sink you if you don't balance that. But yet you can't let it jade you. Like those relational things that happen of getting burned, or something with finances didn't work out, and you took a step, and you can't let it jade you or take it personal. And that's all part of what I think either makes someone be successful or not in business, is learning how to navigate all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I agree. And like you said, faith is a huge part. I mean, that it's not just that it's a part of it. It drives it entirely. My whole story of even why I got into coffee is the Lord gave me a dream, a literal dream, and I had to figure out what he was leading me to, and it came to roasting, and never heard of doing that in my life. So, I mean, it's all God-led moments, as long as you let yourself follow those steps.
Sure.
You can't try to forge ahead on your own, and those are usually when I make those stupid mistakes. Or follow the path that he's setting you on, even if it looks really strange or impossible. And those are the victories. So,
and each next step you've never done.
Yeah.
And so it's like over and over again, this repeated process of growing your own confidence, but you're also dependence, and trust and navigating setbacks, and it's just this repeated thing.
Yeah.
And then it just scales on a larger level.
Mm-hmm. And then you look back and you're like, oh, it's been 7 years and look how far I've come from the bedroom nook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
And now your business is not a B2C, business to customer, providing coffee for individuals.
Well, we do. We do have a retail component.
You do have a retail, okay, you do. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not so much the brewed coffee, but bags of coffee for home.
Okay, so they can purchase. Okay.
We do events where we'll do markets and things like that.
Okay.
And then also some catered coffee. I just did some catered coffee this week for a homeschool group. So there is that element, but it's more of an add-on. The focus is that wholesale side of things. And then when it is retail, it's really that relationship building and trying to connect with people and grow the connection through the community, and then also grow for what the wholesale opportunities could be out there from that.
Okay. So on that wholesale side of B2B, selling to businesses and different groups with that, tell us a little bit about what that's been like building that and developing those relationships and those networks.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of crazy because I wasn't sure exactly. My mindset going into it was doing a retail business, eventually having a coffee shop alongside of it. Again, my dreams aren't always what's going to happen. So I'm really glad I'm not cut out to run a coffee shop. That's not really something I desire to do or think I'd be great at. I think my husband would be great at it, so maybe someday. But I lost my train of thought there. So with the wholesale, it's grown from those relationships, people we meet, and a lot of times it was churches that I'd start supplying, or a market that wanted to put some of my coffee on their shelf. And then one of those things that looks like a earthly failure, I guess, was we did have it wasn't even a failure fully. We had a drive-through shop in town. Again, realized not cut out to be the one running a shop like that, but we decided to step away from it so that the time was not consumed into that brick and mortar because the wholesale had an opportunity to grow. So we let go of that, stepped away, and at the time it felt like I'd failed at something. Like whenever you have to close the doors on something, it does feel that way. But it also felt good and a relief because I knew the positive step forward from it. But through it, the biggest thing that came was my connection to the man who I bought my espresso machine from, and he installed it. We have a wonderful relationship now, and I only met him because of that, opening those doors and putting that in there. And he has connected me because he loves the coffee so much. He's been in it. He's an older man. He's been in it for many, many years, mission work before that, knows coffee inside and out. And he recommends me where he goes now, where he installs machines, especially when he goes to new shops and stuff like that, where they're looking, because he believes in what I'm doing so much. So, and he enjoys it so much. And so that's really cool. It's all about those relationships. I feel like it's an industry where it is very relationship driven. Anything where you're getting into service industry, especially but coffee, you think about going to get a coffee with something, it's very personal, it's very intimate. You're gonna sit down and have those conversations. And so along those lines, the way my business grows is really the interpersonal relationships. And so I met him, and then he connects me to people, and then I meet with them, and we start that relationship, and we just build it from there. He's not the only way I get wholesale, but that's just been a big...
But yeah, what a great example of the reality of all growth steps start with usually what looks like a failure.
Yeah.
Or a death. Like even in the agricultural world, a seed has to die before it multiplies and produces something. And that's like a process you have to learn how to welcome as a owner and leader if you really want to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So what would you say if there was one or two things that you are most proud of as a leader, starting a business and growing it? What would be a couple things you're really proud of?
Oh, that's kind of tough. I don't ever think about that.
Or even something that you have learned or grown in as a leader that you just feel good about.
Yeah, I feel very proud of, and it's weird to say this, but I feel proud of, I feel like I carry a lot of integrity no matter what I do. So I'm not going to shift and change based on who I'm working with or trying to maybe have become a customer. So I feel like being able to represent in a God-honoring and truthful way at all times. I feel like that's something I can be very proud of. I feel like I lead in that way. And then, I keep saying relationships, but it keeps coming back to that. I feel like there's such a strong opportunity to be present for other people through what I do. And I can easily brush that off and just make it business. But I feel like I do enjoy that I make the effort to connect on a really personal level with people. So even who I buy from a farmer from Nicaragua, he and his wife. And so I've gotten to know them. I've never met them in person, but I've gotten to know them so well through emails and conversations. His daughter just got married, like all this exciting stuff that I even send out our family. We don't do a Christmas card because I can never get on it for that. It's a New Year card. It comes after the New Year too. So it's just a little treat after the holidays. But I send that out to my importers and my farmers and stuff like that because I just feel like we have that personal family connection too, where we're a part of each other's lives and a part of each other's growth in their business, but not just business, but the community. So
that's a pretty common theme that I hear a lot in all the coaching I do with business owners is the ones that are successful, they put relationships first.
Yeah.
And they know their numbers and they have to work at that, and they have their product or their service that they do with integrity, but when it all comes down to it, it's the impact it can make in a person's life that really often is the drive behind it.
Right. You can't just be driven for the business and the money and things like that because it just you won't make it past your first year, your 5 years.
Yeah, and it's almost like if you get that, then you become more successful on the other side of the finances and things because it opens the door for you to use the influence and the resources to make a greater impact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it brings some blessing for sure.
Yeah. So Esta, you are pitching. Yes. And tell us what your pitch is that you're wanting to do to expand the business.
Okay. Well, overall, the project that we're going into, the big dream, the overarching dream, has 3 phases, and we're currently in the first phase. The overarching dream is to expand our wholesale and our cold brew and iced coffee canning process. So being able to offer that alongside what we already offer. So phase 1 is the expansion of the actual roastery and roasting side to be able to do that. And the biggest impact that will be made will be from a larger roaster. So that's the main pitch. And from that, with the roaster, we hope to be able to expand and open up opportunities within the roastery for employment as well, where we have some assistant type work or like packaging, delivering, that kind of thing. So with that open door, then we can lead into phase 2, which is the research and development, getting into the cold brew canning. But currently, my roaster, I can do 10 to maybe 15 pounds an hour, which is not very much, but I just roast over and over and over again. And with the new roaster, we can change that to 80 to 102 pounds per hour, which is a significant difference, opens up the time needed to actually expand and grow into this next area of business, which is massive right now. I just don't have any extra time to put into that, to even consider having another employee under me to start training. There just isn't the time. And so it will be huge to open that door, to take off some of those responsibilities outside of the roasting from me, because currently I wear pretty much all the hats. But then we can really dive into the R&D necessary, the market research, everything that can go towards getting that cold brew and iced coffee canning process going. And then the phase 3 is the big launch and mass distribution and brand loyalty growing and all that. And then opening that for other businesses to can their goods as well.
Wow. So it sounds like that's like at least a 5x of what it saves on your time, of what it produces.
Oh, it'll be incredible. I can't even imagine the time that it opens up. It's an exciting thought.
Which then allows you to move from working in your business to working on it to really take those next steps.
Yeah, which is one of the biggest thing. I think we were talking about earlier, for a small business owner, for growth, our biggest asset is time. It's our time. I mean, we talk about finances and all that. Yes, you need that. But if you're an entrepreneur, you make things work. You figure it out. But time, you can't change. You can't get back. You have to work within the time constraints you have. And so opening up that time is huge.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, Esta, tell us where people can find you if they would like your coffee.
Yeah, so we have a website, Promise Coffees, with an S, promisecoffees.com, and you can order there. There's shipping, local delivery. There's pickup at Smith's Meat Market in Pendleton.
Okay.
And then we also will pop up at different markets and events. You can find those on our social media, which is at Promise Coffee Roasters on both Facebook and Instagram. But then also we have a lot of shops and great partners. Here in Pendleton, we have Smith's Market, the meat market in town. They sell bagged coffee. We have Invited to the Table. They do their own specialty blend from us and have bags of coffee as well. So you can get it brewed or bagged there. I mean, if you want to go a little further out, we have Mercantile 37 out in Noblesville, and Seven Rock Brew in Muncie, which is connected with Elm Street Brewing Company there, if you're familiar. And we have if you go down towards the south side of Indy, so Tia's restaurant, and then there's now a Tia's too. They opened a second one. Congrats to them. Very exciting for their growth. Those are in New Palestine and Morristown. And then Milk and Honey is one of our newer ones, Milk and Honey Coffee House. They're in Wanamaker, so the south side of Indy.
Okay.
And theirs is a really cool operation. If you haven't checked it out, even just check out their social media. They're killing it. But they have like a Chick-fil-A style double drive-through lane and huge. I mean, they're just doing wonderful. So those are a few options. We're growing. We have multiple churches, and we have a nationwide fundraising group we work with. Lots of opportunity, lots of different options out there.
That's awesome. That is so awesome how your footprint is beyond what you could do.
Yeah.
With your networking and the way your approach is to grow your business. So that's cool. Awesome. Well, Esta, we're so excited for you with the pitch night and excited to hear you share.
Oh, yeah.
And so glad you took a little time with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah. So again, I hope you come out on February 19th at 6 o'clock for the pitch night at Flagship Enterprise Center. And there is hors d'oeuvres at 5:30, and so hope to see you there.
Thanks for listening to the Flagship Podcast, sponsored by Pinnacle Systems. Visit our YouTube channel for the full-length video podcast, or find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. New podcasts are posted every month, featuring local leaders from Central Indiana. For more content, follow us on social media at Flagship Enterprise Center. Until next time, thanks for listening.